welcome to this new episode of Continuum Gaming, and today we are going to have a look at 3 different games for Windows 10 Mobile again. And in this case it's going to be a Cut&Hack, The Alien Stole the Lamp, and Battle Tanks. Yeah, it depends. World Kriegspanzer, or it might be Legends of WWII. I'm not sure exactly because both are more or less in the game, both names, and one of them is probably the right one, the other one is just one for marketing purposes, but I'm not sure which one is which. And yeah, my name is Gerald, and as always I've got a couple of different things with me, which is, or are of course, this mouse for instance, and my Bluetooth mouse to control everything. We are going to use the Foldable keyboard, which is this one. And in the end, in this game, we are going to play one of the games with the Xbox One as well as controller again. So this one is going to be used in this game. It's Bluetooth enabled too and will be connected to the smartphone, which of course is the main protagonist in our whole thing here. It's the Lumia 950 XL, still running, still pretty fine for what it does. And yeah, it has a USB-C connector at the bottom, and Windows 10 Mobile on it, of course. And like this, we can use the USB-C connector here to connect the smartphone to the display dock, which is just an USB-C hub, more or less. Nowadays, something pretty common. When it first started in 2015 now, it really was a pretty new thing and something that didn't occur on any other smartphone, or at least very, very few of them. And yeah, other than that, we are going, of course, to use this technology because you can already see it's at the moment a desktop-like technology or a desktop-like experience we have here, because we have a GUI or an UI which is more or less like a desktop. And we are going to change this in this episode too, because we will have to more or less mirror something. Because there's one game, or better to say 2 games in this mashup here, which have trouble with being played in the widescreen area, and so we are going to use this and just change the mode so we can use on a big screen the other apps and games and stuff like that that wouldn't work otherwise too. And yeah, so if you want to know more about all the technology, what's behind Continuum, what was that, what is that, please have a look at the corner up there. There are a couple of different other videos where I'm going to talk about it more in depth. And let's start with the first one. And for the first one, we already have to change the mode. That's why, because it's really just a Windows Phone 8 app, more or less, or game. And for that, we will have to change it anyway, because only Windows 10 Mobile games will work on Continuum like this. So first off, I'm going to go to my settings here. I already have it open. If you have to open it, just go to all apps, go in here. Don't be disturbed by the grayed out stuff here. That's because I don't have a SD card at the moment in my smartphone. We'll put that in back later on, but still, if you want to go to the settings, go to settings, or Einstellungen in German in this case, and if I click on that, then you are going to see this, this menu, and there you go to System, and in here you can already see Anzeige, Display, whatever is already selected. And here you go to the extended settings, and if you go here you can switch between this one, which is Continuum more or less, and this one, which is just mirroring the smartphone. At least it should. Give me one sec. Maybe I didn't do it right. Oh, maybe I have to switch from this to this first. Give me one sec. Problem, if you already have the Continuum app running on your smartphone, you might have to close that down. We will see if this is a problem. Yeah, there we go. As you can see, we have now just a mirroring screen of the smartphone, which is something that most smartphones can do nowadays. And for that, we are just going to click on this icon here, and in the main menu you just scroll down to all apps, and now you can see Cut&Hack is now available, and I'm going to click on that. Cut&Hack is a small little game which is more or less about hacking, not really of course, but in the end what you're going to do here is you're going to first off go back to the main screen, and here you can see cutting is more or less hacking in this game, so you will have to draw a line with your mouse, your finger, whatever you want to use there, which is following another one, and if you're doing that you're getting points for that. And in the end what you try to achieve is getting more data as a white hat or a black hat hacker. I'm playing white hat at the moment, so the screen and everything is white, so the scene is more or less changing. It's pretty nice that they put in this kind of part there. You can see white at the moment, black could be the other one if you wanted to. And yeah, you can of course shut off sounds and music if you don't like them. I think I would keep them. And in the end what you are going to try is how many MB, so megabytes or gigabytes or whatever of a hack can you do. For that there are two different modes to play here. So the first one is just the rushing mode, so there's just some kind of timer going down, and you will have to hack as many systems as you can. And there's survival, so more or less how long can you stay alive till the timer is too fast for you to hack something. I'm going to turn around for this because you should be a little bit precise. It's not easy to play with mouse, just to let you know. So there is a reason why this is not available in the Windows 10 mobile store for Continuum, but we will see. So first off I'm going to click on this, and as you can see with extra time, 8 seconds or more, we get 150 points. If we are very precise we get 200 points, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to click here is of course the lower one, and as you can see this is more or less a hack. There, down there is this bar which is indicating how long we have for the hack. Or well to say for all hacks, so be very very careful with your timing. And of course elite hack, so I did well in this case. In general I'm really bad at this because I'm playing with the mouse. It can be easy. On the other hand, it's not really to really go in a really nice way here and be fast with it, of course, because this is more or less a hard thing to do about this. Average, okay, still good. First time I tried this, more or less like this one will be, it was always poor. Just because I have to be quick, because I have to be fast now to get a little bit of something in there. This is going to be a very poor hack too. But anyway, we got a couple of them. As you can see, 331 MB we got out of this session. It's the best session I did till now. And so you can go on and try to more or less, yeah, fight against your own score there. I think it's a nicely done app, very lightweight in its graphical behavior and stuff like that, and it's really a nice one. Just try it out if you like it. And yeah, so since we are in the mirroring mode, we can't go to up there and close the app or something. So this is not something that is normal in the Windows 10 not Continuum version. So we have to go here and go on. The second one is going to be the alien stole the lamp. And in the end, what this is all about, it's a really nice fun game if you ask me. This is technically a Windows 10 mobile smart app which supports Continuum somehow, but the problem is that Continuum is always giving you the at least if you're playing it on this kind of display and you're not tilting or something, it's going to be always in the landscape mode, and landscape is something that this app doesn't support. So for that, we are already in this mode. If you want to play this, you have, on the big screen at least, you have to go to the mirror mode to go in there. You can play then all of the different apps. It doesn't matter if it's Windows 10 Mobile or Windows 10 8 in the end. And I'm just going to click on this and show you the game. There are a couple of different options here. So you can play it with your keyboard in this case, or you can play it, for instance, with a mouse or touch or whatever you want to do, of course. I'm going to use my keyboard because I think it's a very easy to play, or it's hard to play, but in the end it's easier to play with the keyboard than with the mouse, if you ask me. And in the end, what you're going to have to do here to steer your UFO or your unidentified, I'm not even sure what it's in English. UFO, unidentifiziertes Flugobjekt, is a German way to pronounce it, doesn't matter. So this spaceship, more or less, and yeah, I'm going to press the left and the right key and on the keyboard here to go up, more or less, or to do anything. At least I think it should work like this. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, the most important thing is you are not allowed to touch anything other than the final spaceport, so you have to bring it here, and you are trying to get the lamp and just steal it away from wherever it is. And for that, of course, we first have to find it, and we can, of course, for instance, collect those stars and stuff like that. So I'm going to turn around again. If you are playing this with a mouse, for instance, there's more or less a one-click button option to do that, but the important thing is it's very important where you are clicking. So if you are clicking on the right side of your screen, your spaceship will go to the right. If you are going to the left side of the screen, the saucer will go to the left and stuff like that. And it's really not easy to control this, if you ask me. You can, of course, and it's fine for flying like this, but the problem is that if you are going to be more precise, what you will have to be, I think that it's a little bit easier to do it with the keyboard like I'm doing it at the moment. And as you can see, there are the sheep, and we are trying to steal them away. And that is, of course, as you can already see here, done by not getting killed. That's a good way to think about it. And you really should not let anything touch the ground or the different houses or whatever we are talking here. And as you can see, I brought one of the sheep now over here. You will have to try it out a little to get the hang of it. And to really get the sheep out. And it's going to be something you will have to train. Good thing is, sheep isn't dying or something if it's falling down, so you can still try to get it up there and get it out, but it's really not easy to control. And as you can see, you can't. Wow. Okay, sorry for that. I died. But still, this seems to be much easier, if you ask me, than, for instance, going with the normal one. And we are not in the first level at the moment. I think we are in the third or something, I'm not sure. Let's go down here. I think it's a little bit easier if you get them out there first, so you can really bring them in where you want them to be. Okay, first one. And let's try the second one. I'm just going to go over here. Wow, that was close. And I'm going to fall down, but this is fine. Controlled crashing, more or less. We could call it that. And this is it. Okay, so level 4 was completed successfully. And like this, you're going to play this game. Of course, you will earn extra points or whatever to get all the different stars there. So if you are flying in the right way, it's easier to gain higher values here. And yes, this is more or less the game. I think it's a pretty nice one. I like it somehow because it's really, a little bit hard to play, but it's playable. So it's not like Flappy Bird or something. You can't really beat Flappy Bird in the end. But this one is playable and it's more or less a little bit like Flappy Bird, but not really. So just try it out. I think it's worth trying it. And then I would say we go out here and I'm going to shut down all the different apps we have here, because otherwise they're just going to get on our performance level here. And what I'm going to do in the next step is I'm going to go to my settings again and switch it back, because now we really have a Continuum enabled game which is working like this. And for that I'm just going to switch back the mode. So I'm going to go to the settings here, going to System, Display, the extended settings, and I'm just going to switch it back to the real Continuum mode you already know. So it's pretty fast to do, as you can see, but you will have to do it, otherwise it's not working. I'm not sure why Microsoft, for instance, didn't put just these options in, that you, for instance, could go for an auto option or whatever in this case, so that the system would just detect, okay, this is a Windows 8 game, and so I will have to get it to the mirror mode more or less to show it here, and otherwise it's going to be played in the normal mode or something. That would be the easy way, and I'm not sure why Microsoft didn't do it, probably because they wanted all the different app manufacturers to do it in this way, so that they are going to switch over. But still, I would have preferred it that there would have been some kind of an option to just go to an auto mode, and if you're just opening up an app, for instance, that can't do it in another way, it's just mirroring. But it never happened. I don't know why. Okay, so the last game in this episode is Battle Tanks, and this one is pretty much like World of Tanks, probably, more or less. So we are going to try it out, and I'm going to play it with the Xbox One wireless controller in this case. And of course any other gamepad or game controller like this would do it more or less too. I'm going to shut down the options too, and I'm going to go to my All Apps list here, clicking on there, and I think it's up here, so I don't have to, there we go. And this is the Legends of WWII. So we are going to fight against other people with different kinds of tanks, more or less. And it's very, very similar to what you already know from World of Tanks, for instance. But World of Tanks doesn't support Windows 10 Mobile anymore. So this one does, and you can really play it in a very similar way. Probably not exactly as good, but very similar to that. And for using the controller here, as you already know, you will have to activate it if the game is already running. So I'm just clicking here. At the start you're going to select between two different options, more or less in the servers where you're playing. There is the Asian one and the European one. For me the European one has a better ping, so I'm using that, and it depends on where you are, of course. Okay, so at the start it just takes a little to load, as you can see, but now we can play it by clicking once on the screen here. And now we are going to go into the game. I'm going to change around, or turn around. And as you already can see here, this game is a little bit about buying stuff and so on and so forth, but it's not with real money if you don't want to, at least. You can play it like this, and we can get, for instance, this kind of parts there. And now let's see. Of course we're not going to get that, sorry. Very expensive too. Okay. I don't want that. Can I click here to get rid of it? Yeah. Okay. So in the end you're going to go into some kind of hangar style, where you're going to have to more or less put in all your different options and stuff like that. You can see there are a lot of different things to buy here, but in the end here you can see the main menu more or less. So you have some kind of tent there which you can drive around, go into fights and stuff like that. You have a couple of different options to do stuff here. For instance, you can go for camouflage, how it's looking more or less, and you can of course go for instance for the different equipments. So something like a fire extinguisher and stuff like that. So whatever you will need in the fight, you can get it more or less here. And it's of course fun to just go in and try different things out. And of course you can go for different weapons. So if we go in here, this is ammunition in this case. So we are able to buy stuff here with those super duper weaponry ammunition, for instance. I'm not going to use this. It's just costing money and I'm not sure if we need that for that. And of course we can get different other stuff here too, like for instance armor and stuff like that. And if you want to have a look at the settings, we can do that too. There are a couple of different ones. What I find interesting here, as you can see, we have a couple of different options here and it's playing nicely with metal. You could of course go to a lower setting here if you want to, but it's nice enough even on a smartphone processor to be played on the middle version here, so just do that. And if you are ready, I'm not going to explain everything on the screen here. You see there's a lot of different stuff here, but let's go into one of the fightings here. The other stuff you can easily find out. And what we are going to play here is the fast level more or less, or the fast game, because to go into the other ones you will have to play to level 5 first, but we are going to play this. As you can see, there are different kind of tanks in this part. You can have the light ones, the middle ones and the really heavy ones. And of course there are a couple of different things. For instance, in this case there's a map where we are playing in the Normandy, and there are a couple of different other ones available here too. As you can see, I already connected my controller and I'm going to play it with it. The fire button is this one here, not any kind of this one. Just to let you know, this one is the most important one. And this one is going to be controlling the tank's driving direction, for instance. This one is going to be important. Ooh, sorry for that. For some reason it crashed there. A little bit unfortunate. I'm just going to go to this mode for this. Just to let you know, if you are playing it, this one is going to be the one where you are going to be able to, in the zoom mode, so if you are going to fight against other people or other tanks, you will often have to zoom in. And then you will use this one in the zoom mode more or less to control where you are firing. This one is for the general driving and stuff like that, of course. This one is for firing your main weapon. And yeah, in the end, everything else would have still be done by the mouse here. So if you, for instance, want to use some of your equipment or something, you would have to do that by mouse. But in general, for the normal playing, this is fine. You can use it very, very easily and it's fun to play it. So let's try it again. Hopefully this time it's going to work. I already played a couple of things here. So in general, it should be possible. As you can see, it's a really online game where we're fighting against other people on the play. And we are in Cherson now, not in the Normandy, for this map. And let's see if we can play this one. Fun to see the options here. Okay, this one looks great. We are going to click on this. As you can see, we are fighting against different other people, so we are in a team. And here we go. And if you are not able to drive around like I am, you might have to reconnect your controller first. So a long press on this and just wait till it's reconnected. And there we go, we can now control something. Problem is, it's not really what I want to be controlling here. So let's go to the settings, because there's a setting that you might want to check out. There's this alternative mobile control. I'm going to put in this one. And as you can see, I can drive around now. And yeah, the most important thing, now you can't use this one without going to your parts here. As you can see, there are a couple of different things you can try out. For instance, this is giving you different options. I think you can even do equipment and stuff like that with that, but we're not going to do that. As you can see, it's a capture the flag one we are playing at the moment. Firing done by this. As you can see, there's this, yeah, more or less this indicator that is giving us the option to shoot again after a while. It's very important. And to go into zoom mode, I'm going to click this one, and as you can, or can't see, sorry. Oh, this is very unfortunate. Give me 1 sec, I'm going to go back to the other option. Hopefully I'm fast enough to do that. Yeah, now we can use this, but we will have to... Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry for that. I'm not sure why it is not working at the start, but you can get it to start to work, as you can see. And we are going to fire, and got that one destroyed. At the moment we are looking in the wrong direction. So let's see what we can do here. That's another enemy. We are going to fight at him. There's an auto aim activated. I'm not really that good, but that is just normal for this kind of game with a controller. You really will have to do it like this. Ooh, and let's see what we can do here. Ooh-ha. Hopefully I'm not in a political problem now with this, but okay. Not what I really wanted to do here, but I'm in that team. I can't do anything about it. Sorry, the Ukraine. I'm really not trying to kill your tanks here, but we'll have to do that in this game. Okay, so there we go. At least I can fight another Russian guy here. And we are trying to kill them, of course, and since I am now in this, I will have to try to hide a little, because I'm already trying to fight it. And of course they are trying to kill me too. As you can see, there are all the different numbers telling you how much of a fight you are giving them, and it's very important on how you are more or less positioning against the other guy here. So be very careful to stay in the right position, and we got it. Okay, so as you can see, like this, the game is played. It's pretty fun to play if you're getting it handled like this. And yeah, other than that, I think you will have fun with this game. It's a nice one, especially since World of Tanks isn't available anymore. You can really easily use this one, have the same kind of fun with it, and try it out. And other than that, I would say thank you for watching, thank you for listening. I hope you had fun with this episode. If it was like this, please give it a thumbs up, of course. And then I would say we see us in the next episode next week probably. And other than that, thanks for watching, see you around, and bye.